Imagine spending your entire life serving other people, only to wake up one day and realize you never served yourself, that your whole life just slipped away. Today, I want to talk about a quiet film, a very quiet film, but one that hits harder than most action movies ever could. The Remains of the Day. Released in 1993, this British drama was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, yet somehow walked away empty-handed. Directed by James Ivory, starring Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson, and trust me, the acting alone is enough to break your heart. The story follows Stevens, a butler who dedicated his entire life to serving an English lord with absolute loyalty and devotion. But after his master dies, the mansion is sold to an American businessman who becomes the new owner. And for the first time in years, Stevens leaves the house. He decides to travel and meet Mrs. Kenton, a former housekeeper who used to work at the mansion. But she wasn't just a colleague, she was his old love, his silent, buried love, the one he never even admitted to himself. During the journey, we dive into Stevens' memories, his past, his choices, until he finally meets her again, only to discover she's married, and that his chance with her is gone forever. Before anything else, I have to talk about the genius of the title, The Remains of the Day, because it perfectly describes Stevens' life. Nothing is left except what remains of the day and what remains of his life after he wasted it all on work with no real purpose. Stevens wasn't heartless. He had feelings, strong ones, but he was born into a family of butlers, a family that knew nothing but duty, discipline, and obedience, so he buried everything inside. Even when his own father worked under his command, he showed no mercy. Cold face, professional voice, ice instead of emotion. And with Mrs. Kenton, she tried again and again to get him to admit he loved her, but he couldn't, because a great butler doesn't fall in love with a housekeeper. In his mind, perfection meant be polite, be professional, be invisible, and treat duty like it's sacred. But time destroys all his beliefs. The lord he served with pride is later accused of collaborating with the Nazis, imprisoned, and dies in disgrace. Suddenly, his pride turns into shame. How could he devote his life to serving a traitor? Then the mansion is bought by a rich American who changes all the old traditions. Everything he believed in collapses. His world just falls apart. And in the final moments, we see it all in his eyes. Anthony Hopkins delivers one of the quietest performances ever, but somehow it screams. It's the pain of realizing you wasted your life chasing an illusion. No real love, no personal life, no happiness, just work. And here's the interesting part. This extremely British story, all about butlers and lords, is actually based on a novel by Kazuo Ishiguro, a British writer of Japanese origin. And you can feel that cultural mix, because Stevens isn't just a butler, he's almost like a samurai. Absolute loyalty, honor above emotions, sacrificing your entire life for your master. And honestly, that fusion between British restraint and Japanese discipline is what makes this film so special. Two cultures that look completely different, yet share the same soul. And finally, if you made it this far and enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit like. It really helps the channel grow. And most importantly, stay lazy and keep watching great movies.